Hello everyone, it's Evie here, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be making it to, hopefully, to 20,000, blocks. I don't get why it's been lagging recently, but hopefully, that all gets fixed. Oh my god. And yeah, I want to talk about a few things, and that is the comment section. Because I know the internet can be all toxic and stuff, but oh my god, can you all just stop commenting? Oh, Jesus, doesn't love you and stuff, and because it's bruh, we don't need that. And saying that I sound like this one character from Big Bang Theory because I have a lisp. Come on, can we do a little bit better with that, please? Like like to me, it's kind of dumb to really be toxic and be hateful to someone that is a trans woman and being oh, I'm gonna be mean to you all because you are that. And I'm just gonna be mean to you all because of the fact that, you're all a autistic trans woman with a lisp. I've done nothing wrong to deserve the hate at all, period. And it's crazy to me how people would rather, you know, be all full of hate than be full of just respect with one another, you know? Because to me, it's what's the point? Really? What's the point of being rude about someone, you know? About being, you know, all this when you could be doing a whole lot better in your life by going, oh, I don't really need to be this toxic of a person all the time. And yeah, you don't. That's the crazy thing, right? Is that when you comment down about people's gender identity and their disabilities and be yeah, let me just point out, the obvious fact about someone and stuff like that. It makes you look bad, and it ultimately does not make you or anyone look good at all in the long run. It doesn't. Straight up does not, for really big reasons. For example, right? Like, you won't be able to, be happy, right? You want your friends, your family, to be able to feel safe around you. How can we accomplish that when all we doing is always fighting, 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 going, oh, but you're doing this and this and this wrong. Like, what, that I'm just, living a more successful life than, not successful, but a life where I could just be more proud to be who I am without having fear all the time being who I am all the time. Because, yeah, I would rather feel comfortable in my own skin than not. Because through it all, it's the one thing that's been keeping me going is fighting for the LGBTQIA plus community because I'm gonna be, as honest here. I don't. The reason why I make videos all the time on the channel about advocating, because for one, of how laws are making it more and more difficult for people like me to live a happy and successful life. In a life where you feel safe to be who you are. Like, it's always, oh, what about this and this and this? Yeah, but at the same time, have you really, really thought about the fact that, that how you, how you are as a person, what you say to the person, you're like, oh, you're trans, like, go get a job, or Jesus doesn't like this, go seek help. And if you find his channel, you don't need to watch any other video on his channel at all. Like, you don't have to. No one's forcing you to. It's just the fact that you all just really need just to be that way for whatever reason. Be like, yeah, guessing that I gotta, watch the videos now. You don't. And that's the most craziest thing. Is that I actually don't have to watch any of it. Like, you can go your whole day without watching. To make sure my camera is. It, and yeah. And yeah, like, pretty much, like, doesn't that make sense to, like, be all this toxicity over someone's disability and gender identity, like, and stuff. Like, to me, it's kind of lame to be like, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of you for something that is out of my control, and that I have to be as toxic, as homophobic, transphobic as possible over something that I have no control over. And yeah. Oh yeah, the rules for this is I can only go forward. I can go sideways, I can go that way, but I cannot go backwards. And if I die, the series is over. Point blank, over. And yeah, like, pretty much, like, it doesn't not make sense. Oh yeah, the reason I got this, here, is because then I can see, like, how much coal we have, how much food we have, and we doing good on food. Doing good. And yeah, like if you're just gonna comment on the video just to be transphobic and homophobic, then I will just ban you. And I don't care if you say like, "Oh, but that's rude, though." Um, okay, but like being, you know, being, homophobic and trying to force someone's gender on them, it's just rude. Anyways, like no one asks you for your opinion on how they live their life. Like I didn't need to be like, oh yeah, like I need to please the whole internet about my identity and how I live my life. It's like no one should. And that's what's craziest thing of all is that people don't really think before speaking these days. And I do agree with that subject. I watched this video and it is annoying that, that all we do is fight, going, oh, but like it don't fit in my like life at all. Like you don't fit of who I am, and you don't fit with like who I'm trying to be. And if you're anything like LGBTQIA plus, or autistic, Down syndrome, or like black or anything like that, then have disabilities, then I'm just gonna make fun of your type. Cause now, like, bruh, right now I'm honestly going through like hell right now, like straight up like hell. Cause I got bitten by a red group spider. Like I've been going through that, host, and you know how that is. That's not fun at all. Like that is not fun at all to be like, oh, okay. It's not. Like yesterday, no, before yesterday, on the 23rd, Thursday, we got work. I was so much pain that like I legit was actually crying because of it. Like it felt like blood going down my leg, but it wasn't. But what they did was they used this tool to scrape, and the person was to wipe away like all the like dirty stuff, and the black dot, dry skin came off, and then they kind of like cut it inside and made it better. Like I'm not in as much pain as I once was, so it is healing really really well. I'm doing everything that needs to be done so that it can heal. Like it's not fun dealing with spider bite, and people just commenting, being like, "Oh, like you." If you're just gonna comment that, then that's on you for getting banned. And if you're just gonna join a Discord just to like spam emotes, then you're also gonna get banned. Like straight up, like no one wants to deal with like toxic odd people. Going, you LGBTQIA plus. Oh my god, don't look like I care. I bought this trans cape because I was like, you know what, it looks cool. I want it, and yeah, like you all need to like realize that everyone is different and unique. You're not hating on them just because of who they are, something they cannot control. It's just ridiculous. Like it really, really, really is. Because it's gonna be continuous fight going. But like you're not a woman, you're not a man, you're not non-binary, you're not agender. You gotta dress a certain way. Or you're not bisexual, you're not pansexual. And also, for someone to have kids, not a good idea. Having this whole idea of someone being like, you have to have kids, you have to have them, and if you're a trans woman, you can't have kids. They're not really a real woman. It's like, bruh, I identify as one, and I love it when people you see her pronouns and use my name Evie, but that's who I am. And it's kind of annoying when people go, but it bothers me because of the fact that you aren't gonna change for me. Why do I have to change for bunch of random people? Like I don't even know. Like why should someone into your idea of life, whatever? And when you keep on saying stuff like, "Oh, but like you're not really, a man or woman or whatever identity they might identify as," it hurts them because it's like, what do they do to deserve that? Nothing. Nothing at all. Like it's all it has to do with hate and hate and hate and hate. And it's like we do nothing wrong, right? We do nothing wrong. And then it's like, oh, but like you must hate on people just because of who they are. You start, hating on them. And to me that's like, what's the point? Like what's the point of always, you know, being this hateful person when you could do better? It doesn't make sense to me because if you would rather be that hateful person, then that's on you. And not on the person generally trying their best to just, I don't know, have fun in their lives and not really, focus on the negative side of it. because like you always force someone to focus on their negative side, it gets to them. And that's the thing, right? You want people to feel, I don't know, safe and, you know, supported and seen when they're around you, then use the correct name and pronouns and respect them instead of going, oh, but like you're not this and this, and saying stuff like, oh, you sound like this character, you sound like this and this character. Might be like, oh, funny, but like, is it really worth all that when, you know, you could be making them feel more comfortable around you as a whole? Just saying, it's not really worth it. It's not also worth coming to someone's YouTube channel to spread hate on who they are. Like, you don't even know me at all. You're saying, oh, get a job? Yep, I have a job. I work every Thursdays and Sundays. And it makes no sense, really. I work from 12 to 2. I know it's not a long shift, but like, and I might be moving soon, so wouldn't make much sense for me to get long hours anyway. At this point. So you're all just like beating on me because of the fact that, again, I'm an autistic trans woman with a lisp. Those where your mind is at. For real. Like, straight up, no one asked for your opinion on how they to live their life. Now they said live their life and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if you're just gonna be that, third person going around making people feel unsafe, unseen, and disrespected all the time, then you're the one making them feel unsafe. And if you're so used to calling people slurs on the internet, then what's really stopping you from acting that way in public? And again, just because someone is a trans woman or trans man doesn't mean that they're weak and dumb. Doesn't mean when someone is Down syndrome or autistic that they can't be strong and advocate for themselves. I feel like we get into like that kind of mindset where everyone just thinks that everyone is just dumb and stupid just because like who they are, you know. And I don't agree with that at all. Like I don't agree with that mindset at all because it's like he was telling the person that they are worthless, that they don't mean anything at all. And think about that, babe. Think about that. Imagine someone said that to you. I know they may not care, but to a lot of people, it actually affects their like psyche and their self-esteem and their confidence, and also trust in people overall when trying to come out, be like, hey, I'm trans, hey, I want to use this and this name and pronouns and stuff like that. And a lot of autistic people mask of who they are because of the fact that they don't want to be judged. They don't want to make fun of. And it's this thing where people don't really think about how people actually feel at the end of the day when we're behind the screen. Because I could be saying like, oh, all these slurs, but I won't because for one, A, I know better for one. And B, makes no sense to. So yeah, like pretty much like makes no sense to, by the way. Like it makes no sense to like overall, like I have no reason to even say any slurs at all, or because at the end of the day, it's like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of like going around and being rude to people that you don't even know? Like, think about it, right? I'm just someone with 755 subscribers on YouTube. I'm someone that works at McDonald's from 12 to 2. And you know what she does? After that, she does her laundry. She does other stuff. And like, I've been dealing with this spider bite for months now. Going to see doctors about it. Going to get it healed. Doing the right stuff. And being judged and being like, oh, da 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 da. It's like, what's the point? You know, like, what's the whole point of, you know, me, you know, even making videos when people are just gonna judge me all the time? But I know that what I'm doing is right because A, I love making people feel seen and safe and supported and respected. And that no matter what you look like, no matter your gender identity, your sexuality, your disabilities, the race, the race, the religion, as long as you're a good, humble, respectful, understanding, open-minded person, you can get along. If you're someone that's gonna just use your religion just to hate on others, you're not using your religion right, I feel like. You're using it against others. It's you'll say that, oh, I hate how, you spread all this LGBTQI plus community around kids. But then you do the exact same thing by spreading all your hate towards kids. By telling them they can't be who they want to be. What happened to be whatever you want to be when I grow up? But as soon as it does anything to do with gender identity and sexuality, that goes out the window. Completely out the window completely. And to me, that is a that clear sign that people who close minded only care about when you talk about jobs. But as soon as a child comes out as LGBTQI plus or knows diagnosed autism, it's like, oh, everything just hits the fan and goes from good to bad. And it's like, well, like, we don't deserve to be hated on. And if your child ever comes out as being LGBTQI plus, please, please, please support them. Because at the end of the day, that's who they are. Like, straight up. Like, if you're just gonna hate your child for being gay, or bi, or pan, or trans, or agender, or whatever, that's on you, not on your child. Your child didn't choose one day to be like, oh yeah, I want to be trans, and and deal with all the hate and deal with bigots and transphobes and homophobes who hate me. No, they didn't chose that life. They were born that way. There's scientific proof of that. That they were born that way. And if you don't really believe me, then you can look it up. You can talk to people. Like I have experience with, I don't know what generation, with people mistreating me, people just saying all this weird stuff towards me, all because I'm a autistic friend one with a lisp. Like, do I try my best to, to be respectful about it? Yes, because at the end of the day, we're human. We don't be like, oh, because you're this and this and this and this, we're just gonna instantly hate on you for that. I don't. You know why? Because for one, life is just too short to really be like pulling someone's business and be like, yeah, you have to be who I say that you have to be. Or else you're gonna make me a very, very unhappy person. And to be honest, that mindset is quite flawed in many, many ways because it makes others feel A, disrespected. Feel like they can't really be someone that they really want to be around you. They feel disrespected, scared, anxious. Because if you always say like using like, verses from the Bible to be like, yeah, it can't be this way according to me. Why? Why can't they? Like, why can't I be trans? Why can't I identify as a successful, happy person who only wants to feel, you know, happy of who they are? Like, it's not like what life is all about is making others feel like safe and supported, not feel like, they're trapped inside like a bubble all the time because that's the way like I feel like way life is going because we're just constantly fighting and fighting and fighting, being like, you must be either this way or this way. If you are an outsider of the gender identity and if you have a disability, then I won't be your friend. Because I'm only friend with people who are like me, who are non-autistic, Down syndrome, or part of the LGBTQI plus community. And it's like, bruh. Like, okay, here's the thing, right? Well, okay, I want to talk about this. This is crazy to me. Because it is. This one commenter had 20K subscribers. I'm not gonna say the channel name or album, but to me, it was crazy. Crazy for multiple reasons. A, for commenting on my YouTube channel, and being like, oh, you know, they make like against like they look at the channel and that is one video was like, oh, I'm gonna hate on the LGBTQI plus community. In the comment section was like that as well, so it's kind of sad to see. And the most craziest thing of all is that people like that person decided to be like, I'm gonna leave a hate comment. I'm gonna, you know, do whatever. And it's like, bruh, like you did not need to like leave a hate comment at all. Like there was like no need for that. Like there was legit no need for you to do that at all. Period. Right? And whoa. And the crazy thing is that you're like, oh, I just pretty much just banned him from the channel for saying just all they said was just homophobic stuff, being like, ew. It's like if you're just gonna continue trying to be like, oh, you know, God doesn't like you, or you can go to hell, or yada yada yada. It's like you do know that that like you don't we don't actually know what God and Jesus actually want, right? And you're assuming that you should be using your platform to spread hate, and using your life to spread hate is not a good idea. But think about it this way, right? Like imagine if like your friends started to act that way towards you. That's because you're black or because of your religion, right? It wouldn't really feel that fair at the end of the day. It wouldn't. Just think about it, right? If we all were to always hate and hate and hate, you wouldn't really get anything done. Like we wouldn't get anything done at all. Like it would just be a consistent fight. over and over and over again. And that's something that like I could never really understand is the fact that hating people seem to really like to hate on people for the enjoyment of it, for the fact that for the reaction. And to me, I'm like, so you like the reaction people get from you when you're the one hate targeting and making them feel like they can be who they are. Like, to me, that feels kind of uncool. Oh, look it. Oh, first, fine of that. So, another about this case like a couple days ago. I just found like a week ago at this point, and I saw it on Luna's store, and I'm like, dang, I never knew it actually existed. So that's gonna. But yeah, like overall, like, oh my gosh, I was gonna. And yeah, like overall, like I generally do not like dealing with people that's full of hate. But today was a good day to be honest. It was kind of annoying trying to get this camera to work. But yeah. Hopefully you're all enjoying, that because like I am. And yeah. And I need to go to a cave. I think episode 4 we're gonna actually go caving and go mining big time. Or we can do it now. But so who knows? But yeah, like overall, like my day was good. Like I've been with just chilling, watching videos, and being lazy. And yeah, it, it don't. I feel like the thing is that I don't like dumb people at all. Like when I'm dealing with dumb people that are just toxic and hateful, that's where gonna cross the line with me. Where I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you want to make people hate you all the time? Cup of deal. Because it doesn't make me feel any better. But I have no idea like how this works. How do I did I go there and then boom, boom. I think I'm gonna have that out and then once we find land. You know what? We're gonna go over here and just go there. And the reason why I'm doing it so serious is because this was inspired by um Ben GT, and I want to see how far we can go without dying at all. Like how far distant wise we can go without dying. You know? Oh god, no, 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 no. Oh, that's pretty good. What we might actually need that. So yeah, so we're actually gonna cook the food that we have. Yeah, in the first episode we found the Knots Gap in a ruined portal actually. So that was kinda cool. So the bop, the boom. And yeah, like, you know what? They don't need that. And then what else? We got that in there, so yeah, we're good on that. And then yeah, yeah, like pretty much like yeah. Let's really start talking about something else. Like on Friday, I'm seeing Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is amazing because that movie's gonna be a good movie. I feel like, and then I'm excited for Avengers Encore. You have no idea what that is. That is pretty much like let me put it into like it's pretty much like a part two of Endgame with extra scenes, pretty much. Like and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, what was the Bond gonna hold more stuff? But, yeah, that's full. And then let's see here, Bob, then Bob. Yeah, so like boom, just in case type stuff. And yeah, so we got like everything that we need. Wow, I cooked all of that with the looks like we didn't. Yeah, this is why you know what? I kind of want to have some of that since we've been kind of eating, you know, while mudding. I mean, not while mudding, but you know what I mean. All day. Man, I feel like the past couple episodes, so I think I've changed up the food options here. So I wish we could make, you know, sandwiches in Minecraft. Because I think that would be really, really cool. See that, that's why I wish like we were able to like put more items in like the you know bundles because I just feel like it's not really that really enough to really ooh longer by then. Yeah, to get a really good saturation. And yeah, if we made it this far into the 3 minutes into the video, then do leave a like and subscribe because we're still close to reaching 20,000 blocks. And yeah, like I can't believe it. And I'm happy that my Spotify is actually doing better because on Thursday I was in so much pain that like it got to my head because my pain tolerance is so much higher. It's also something people don't really think about with people who are autistic, aka autism, that we have higher pain tolerance, and it's really difficult to tell if it's pain or if it's in our heads. For me, it was in my head, but also I felt like the pain was just there, but I couldn't lay on the side of my leg without it being so painful. Because I got bitten by a ragdoll spider like a month ago, and I've been dealing with that for a long time. Well, months pretty much at this point. Oh my god, we made it. And yeah, like pretty much like it's not fun dealing with a spider bite when like you have no idea how to deal with it. So yeah, and this is why it's also very important to really realize that which is more important, gaming or your health. And I feel like I talked to lots of people about that in competitive scene, and they were like, "No, gaming because I have to be better. I have to be the number one. And I generally feel like they forget about the number one thing. And that is, you know, and that thing is, is health. Is their health and mental health overall. Because if you don't focus on that and focus so much on being a number one player, you're not really gonna go anywhere with that mindset type of deal. Because if you focus on always being number one all the time, then then yeah, if you're just trying to be number one in in every single thing, versus focusing on your health and paying attention to your health overall, you're not gonna improve at anything. Your mental will just decline. Take it from someone that used to play Brawlhalla every single day, non-stop, right? And then now realizing, sure enough, that it was her fault that, her mental health was declining, that she couldn't stop playing the game. And good news is that I've not touched the game in a while. And I feel like I never will this time around because A, the community, way too toxic, way too much for me to handle. And I overall feel like I gotta always be defensive all the time by being who I am. Because think about it, because when you deal with a competitive, community that only caring about being good, and know that's LGBTQI plus, or autism, and or Down syndrome, they would be brutal and be like, you know what, you don't belong here. I want you to stop playing the game. I want you to stop doing this and this and this and this and this. I want you to never play the game again. I want you to quit. And it's like, what's the point? Like, we're playing a game where everyone is out to get you. I've been doxxed twice by the community, all because of the fact that I am a trans woman, an autistic trans woman. And it's like, if you're just gonna target me, just because of something I cannot help, because it's something I was born as, then you're just hating on someone for who they are, point blank. I don't ask, never asked to be hated on, to be called a pedophile, just because of my gender identity, my disabilities. Because I'm more than my gender identity, sexuality, and my disability. I'm a respectful, hardworking, respectful, helpful, understanding, supportive friend, girlfriend, best friend, sister, daughter. Like, and you're all just leaving comments going, no, you're not. Like, who are you to say how I to live my life? You can't tell me how I live my life according to your beliefs. It makes no sense. It doesn't. Because at the end of the day, it's the same old shit I hear. You're not a woman, you're a man. Because you have this and this private part, or you have this and this and this and this and this and and you sound more like a man than a woman. You do know that, cis, straight woman, or cis woman can have deep voices, and cis men can have feminine sounding voices, right? In that, going around being like, it's not true. Because, I never met, the reason why you never met one, because you never allowed yourself to meet any. That's the issue. That you don't allow yourself to meet people who are unique, who are different, who has stories to tell, you know? And is what you go on in life. The fact that you want to stay in your one group of friends, and if anyone is an outsider, I mean you don't understand. You want to make fun of them. You want to judge them. You want to make them feel as small and weak and as scared as possible to you. And that doesn't. And that pretty much is rude. It's okay to not. You want to care about yourself and not about how your friends might actually feel in inside when you're not with them. And the fact that like people go, oh, people like make fun of people and they go, oh, it's a mental illness. Oh, mental disorder. Get help. Um, First off, the only way for people like me to go on HRT is talk to the cardiologist and then talking to the doctors. He's saying if it's a right path for you and the person. And then on top of that, you know, they have to get blood work done. That to make sure that their testosterone and their um est- estradiol ester estrogen levels isn't healthy levels, not in any risky, dangerous levels where you have a chance of getting hurt. Because my levels of estrogen was really high one year, and that was not fun at all. I was a muscle mess. Tell you that much. That is why it's also very important to understand that just because someone is on is trans, you may not ought to understand what stage that it may be on. Because for one, we're judging them being like, oh, what you're doing is wrong and you shouldn't be doing it. But saying quite pointless to be honest. It really is just pointless. Because at the end of the day, it's pretty much being like, what's the point? That's why I'm go but you don't look like a man, you don't look like a woman. You don't actually know what a man or woman looks like. Because when you actually look at every single person, some men are short, some women are tall. Every of our body shapes are different, you know? And assuming someone is fat because they game a lot, you say, I don't eat a whole lot of food. So how can I get fat if I don't eat a whole lot of food? That's something people don't really think about. Is the fact that you can't really call someone fat when it gets their body shape naturally. Now, every single person metabolism is the same. And by always assuming that everyone's body works the same, you also gotta understand that you may like cancer may one in your family, or diabetes may one in your family, or some on top of like health condition may one in your family, and you just want the way of it. Making fun of others. Oh my god, it looks like a mod. I'm not using any word generation mod at all. It looks beautiful. And yeah, like pretty much like making fun of others for how their mental health might be, it's gonna make it worse. It's not gonna help you in your progress feel any better. It might make you feel better about yourself, but overall, it's like, what's the point in doing so when you could have become a whole lot better person by not caring about how they are as a person? You know? Just think about it. Everyone deserves to be respected, with love and care. Don's a good person, and you know, and if you're just gonna treat someone with hate, then that means that they also have every right to treat you with hate back. or just straight up ignore you. And also things where it's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna find out where you live because of the fact that you're trans, or because of the fact that you're black, Mexican, or because of the fact that you're an annoying autistic trans person. Because this shows how you shows your perspective on the matter, and shows that you just only want people like you to be alive, and that anyone else that is different shouldn't exist at all. And I just that in my opinion, because for one, a people are human at the end of the day, and by always labeling them as creeps, pedophiles, we like it's like I'm okay being called a weirdo because that's who I am. Like I love being that because I do weird stuff. Like doing YouTube, that's weird, and also like how I sound, and the fact that I love the fact that people calling them is being trans is weird, being autistic is weird, being pansexual and asexual is weird because of the fact that hey, I don't want to have sex with anyone, and that is perfectly fine. And that is something people need to learn to accept about people. And again, voicing your friends to be like, you have to have sex, you have to have it. You gotta have kids. Kids are hella expensive and a lot of work. But if you end up getting someone pregnant at a young age, that's a lot of responsibility for one. And that responsibility goes for a lot of money. If you don't have a job, how are you supposed to pay for diapers, wipes, bottles for your baby to drink from? No? Like, again, this is why it's also very, very important to be aware of what you do. Because it can't always be this like the person going, yeah, I'm gonna be doing, this and this and this and this and this. You might think that might be a good idea until you realize that it's not a good idea at all. Because A, people just want to be treated with respect and not with hate. And no one, by the way, you think that someone deserves to be treated with hate just because of their color of their skin, just because of like how they are as a person? And that's on God, that's like a horde of like zombies. That's a lot of zombies. And yeah, like it doesn't make no sense to really be like this hateful person going around being like, yep, you have to fit into my idea of life, or else, I'm gonna have to kill you. Or, I have to, hit you and also harass you as well. Because it also is another thing a lot of people like to do towards people with LGBTQI plus. It's the fact that they like to harass people who are like that. And to me, it's like, what's the point? Like, you're not helping out the economy. You're not making people feel any better about themselves. You're actually making them feel worse. Like, I wouldn't like, dealing with people who think that I'm weak and dumb just because of who I am. Oh my god, to see which was almost over. Oh, I need to have this on at all time. Oh, he even creep with this right there. Oh my god. Ooh, section 4, 5. Mm. And yeah, like overall, like overall, like, it makes zero sense to, like, really hate on people for who they are. Like, period. Like, people should be able to live how they want to live. Like, I always talk about this because it needs to be talked about. And always fighting about being like, oh, your lifestyle isn't correct. You gotta, does it fit into my lifestyle? Listen, everyone's lifestyle is different. And I feel like we need to respect that. We shouldn't be like, no, as a parent, I don't agree with the fact that you're trans or gay or bi or autistic. It's like, bruh, your child be who they want to be. Like, if they want to be someone that is a trans woman that, does wonderful stuff in the world, allow them to. Like, because at the end of the day, it's their life. It's their choice. And you can't always force them to be who you want them to be. You know? Like, people need to also understand that people are born different. People are born without arms, legs, even boats. Some people can't even talk, so they use devices to talk or sign language to communicate with one another. And some people need, help changing, getting dressed. And that is something that we shouldn't be making fun of or judging, is how people's lives are different than ours, because everyone's life is different and unique. And if we're just gonna like always, make fun of people for who they are, we aren't doing any better. We're going backwards when it comes to respecting people. Like, think about it. Do you feel safe where where you know where people are just gonna where you feel like you're gonna be judged by them just because of the color of your skin or the gender of your identity or how you talk? Because everyone, speech pattern is different. Everyone has a dialect. If you have a dialect, and that's cool. But it's like, oh, we have a dialect, that's cool. But to me, it's like, what's the point of like going back and back and back and forth, hitting one another, when we could just be helping each other out in life, building businesses that's actually beneficial to the world, and actually realizing that we have qualities that can help each other out massively. Like, it's not always about being the best when it comes to gaming or being part of the LGBTQI plus community. If we just don't really focus on people's gender identity, color of their skin, disabilities, like if we could accommodate for that, for the disabilities, then we'll be able to live in a better world where we could, where people won't feel like judged or scared to being who they are. Because for me, I don't feel exactly safe, you know, around people who are just gonna be saying slurs out of the wazoo, being like, "Oh yeah, but you're not a N word. Oh, but you're an F slur." Because at the end of the day, I don't really appreciate when people use slurs as a way to describe me. I took around being like, yeah, but like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's my life. And the fact that, people don't really realize that is just crazy to me. Because, think about that for a second, right? If you're just gonna go around telling people how they need to live the life according to you, Does it not mean that have everybody do the exact same thing to you if they really, really wanted to? Yes. But am I gonna be that type of person going, ah, you know, since since your life doesn't since your life doesn't agree with mine, I gotta tell you how to live it. No, like I'm just saying how someone could just treat people because in the day, people tend to not really realize how, you know, easy it is to forget about how everyone is just human. We all go through flaws. We all go through hard moments in life. We all go through stuff that is difficult. No, and like life is actually an easy road at times, and being all judgmental, being like look at you, and like I'm doing stuff I love doing. Like I love doing YouTube. I love being able to showcase what I'm actually able to do. You know, like I have no idea how long this series is going to last. It all depends on how far we're able to travel and stuff. Like at the end of the day, it's all dependent on that. Like, and people tend to really forget about that for what that everyone is different and unique in a sense that when we when all we do is focus on the negatives, we don't focus on the positive. You know, like I know life can be difficult at times, but that's because like your life value is different from others does not mean that you have to use your life values to be like, yeah, I'm gonna hate on others. They're gonna target minority groups. They're gonna make sure that your life is living out. Like, it makes no sense really. At the end of the day, we just want to be treated with respect. Like, really. And I feel like along the way, we forgot how to do that over the years because of technology. I feel like technology has made it and people think that over time, it's okay to mistreat others for being different, for being who they are, for being LGBTQIA plus, autistic, Down syndrome, black, Mexican, and the fact that people, even white people as well, and the fact that people use their platform just to be like, yeah, I have to hate on you because of the fact that it's something I don't agree with, and I see you as a freak than as an actual human being. And to me, that screams, oh, so you love putting people down and if you're weak, well, I'm over here making people feel safe. And that's something like I don't understand. Is that when people say, "Yeah, look at me," like this is straight up dumb. Look at me over here. I have a job and I get paid more than you. Okay, because each job is differently depend on the employees, depend on the salary the job has, and here's something people don't really understand really. It's the fact that hey, every job is different across the world and pays differently depending on the country, state, region, city, town you live in, And if you only focus on how much money someone gets paid per hour, also gotta think about this, right? If you get paid more than them, you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna be using that as a way to judge them. It's pretty much you being like, yeah, I'd rather be a know-it-all than be nosy and being toxic about my job. And in fact, I get paid more. Like I don't brag about like the fact that like I get paid at all, like ever. Because it's like, what's the point really? Like, you see me going on being like, oh yes, today I feel like harassing and making people feel small about themselves. No, because I don't like that when people do that to me. So why would I ever do that to them? It makes no sense really at all for me to go around doing, you know? It's something that, makes me feel tired, annoyed when people consistently, you know, make it difficult for people like me to live. Stuff like, and again, people don't really realize how expensive life really is. They brag about their job, but then all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, but like, I get paid, yeah, get paid $1,000, and that $1,000 go towards your bills. They really have less than that in return. You don't get to keep all that money. They feel like when kids and teenagers learn that and understand that factor, they finally be able to understand that all this time when being toxic towards people, when they're getting paid with low income, it's like, yeah, it's because we don't get to keep all that money. It go towards other stuff. You know, like for me, I pay for YouTube Premium. I pay for Xbox Game Pass Premium, not Premium, Essential. Then me and my sisters can play together. And that's something not a lot of people really realize is that when you like want to buy food, snacks, or anything else, it costs a whole lot of money. It's not cheap. And I feel like people need to really understand as a whole. That the more and more we start making fun of people with what jobs they have, just look at McDonald's. As soon as someone hears me say I work at McDonald's, like, oh my god, you clean the floors. And one time, like, I was like, so you want the restaurants to be dirty? You want them to be a mess full of ants, rodents, bugs, insects. You want to get sick. You want to get you and your friends and family and sick. That doesn't really seem that fair. Not that fair at all, really. And like, if you're gonna go in that route where you feel the need to, make fun of others for who they are and what jobs they have, then that's on you. On the person who's working a job that they currently have. And that's the thing, right? If we continue down this road, people are gonna be like, oh, you look at this job that doesn't pay you a whole lot? Okay. And the crazy thing is the fact that people aren't realizing that AI is becoming advanced over time, quickly and fastly. And who knows what they're gonna be able they're gonna be able to take our jobs in the future. I'm not saying that to be like scary and it's the truth. Like, and what else jobs do we have left for humans? Nothing. In the future, it will be nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know? Like, people need to really like understand that when it comes to like life, you can't always be the type of person going, hey, get paid less than me. So what? Like, I don't go around making fun of you for how you act. And why are you going around making fun of me for how I am as a person when I've done nothing wrong to you? No, like, makes zero sense really. Like, makes zero sense. Like, we need to start learning to be more accepting of one another. instead of like always being full of hate towards people. Because put it point blank, not fun dealing with people who always have the same mindset all the thing about it, right? If you're the type of person that wants to go around making others feel unsafe and scared, and also making feel like, why are you making fun of me for all the job I have? Like, I done nothing to you. Like, it's the truth, really. Like, why do I need to satisfy you and make you happy, and I should be focusing on my own life, make myself happy overall? You know? And that's something people don't really focus on, is that the fact that people end up being like, oh, but look at you, you're a mess. Like, look at you. I don't know if it's like, you don't, people don't know if I have a job or not. And assuming that I don't, it's quite sad and disappointing. It just shows where your mindset is at. That you would rather assume that I don't have a job to go get a job when I already have. That's assuming. And assuming doesn't do you any good when you get to be like, oh, do you have a job? Yes. What job do you have? I work at McDonald's. Oh, that's cool. And instead of being like, oh, you work at McDonald's? Wow, you're a loser and joke. Get yourself a better job. You know how difficult it is to get a job? You gotta fill a resume for one. Then like you gotta like contact people that aren't your family. Type of stuff. You don't really realize how it it's a lot of work pretty much. And people need to also realize that I don't even some jobs I'm not even qualified for it, and I haven't gone to college for it. And and that's something people don't really realize is that for certain, jobs you gotta have, it's like you gotta do classes for them. Well, it's like, wow, nothing nothing good over there. But yeah, like overall, like nothing really that good for them. And that's something that I feel like people need to understand is that if we're gonna say get a job, like what does that mean? Like what type of job do you want them to have? Because it could be any job. It could be an autism, it could be a mechanic, it could be a doctor or a nurse, anything. Like, and the fact that like you're not being very, you know, transparent about it shows that you would rather be rude than actually helpful. Like that's and it shows because no one wants to deal with someone that's like what full of hate, negativity. No one wants to deal with that. My mom doesn't. I want to deal with people who are more positive than negative. Because I would rather deal with people that uplift me, make me feel good, make me feel better than not. Like, again, I'm the type of person that will straight up tell you what you are doing wrong and how you can improve upon yourself. AKA by not being rude with people, just doing better in your life, by learning from others, but willing to accept others. Or at least understand why they are the way that they are. Because we can't keep going back and back and back and forth, going, no, you're not, no, you're not. Because that doesn't solve anything. That doesn't solve. Doesn't solve when we go back and forth. When comes to people with gender identity, colors of skin, religion, disabilities, their speech patterns, or if they have a lisp or not. Like, come on. Like, we can do better. And yeah, like, I think that this has been on my mind a whole lot because it's like, it gets tiring when, like, being content creator for time, dealing with, like, consistent hate, consistent people telling you that all the way that you are being, oh, but you know, you this and this and that. Oh my god. Okay, this looks like just one series I did type area in hardcore. But yeah, like overall, it like doesn't make no sense to really be the type of person going, yeah, I'm sorry to tell you this, but because since you're trans, I cannot be your friend. Like those people who like, yeah, since you're trans, I cannot respect you. What? You mean you can't respect me? Like, like, bruh, it makes no sense. It makes me go, why? What's the reason? Because so I want you to replace trans with the word black or Jewish or Muslim. Then for you to realize how dumb and messed up that sounds. This one person I talked to was like, he got like really defensive when it comes to like fights about like dealing with like harassment and stuff. Like, don't talk to me about like you know that I'm mixed with both white and black, so I'm just mixed, right? And like you have no idea struggles of what the African American goes through. Actually, I do because I learned a lot about the struggles of what they go through, and I know if I were to have a car, you know, how police officers may treat me because they're most of the time these officers aren't really trained to really handle people with disabilities. You know, aren't really trained for that, and people don't really think about that fact. The fact that everyone deals with a lot of negativity, you know, and maybe if like instead of always hating on one another, we could actually learn and realize maybe I shouldn't hate on them for who they are. If you don't know what they've been through and stuff like that, like you don't, you know, and going around being like, yeah, oh, another one. But look at, whoa, cut down this tree. Hey, nice. And yeah, like overall, yeah, uh, like this is why, like I feel like I fit in most in my community and communities that just will just respect me for who I am. I make it feel more than safe than not because when you've been doing so much hate for such a long time from a gaming community, it's like it doesn't want you don't want to play that game anymore. But it gets tiring and old and frustrating when all you've been trying to do is have fun. And when people in that gaming community are just there to make fun of you, to make you feel less of yourself, you know? And to make you feel like you aren't good at the game. And people who in a negative way go, oh, since you're not good at Minecraft, I mean I'm better than you at everything that you do. And say stuff like, then you're just worthless. It's like, okay. But it doesn't mean that, you gotta go around saying that to people because they're not good at video games. Like, video games are meant for relaxation, for leisure, not to be used as a way of to hate on people. if you continue down that path, everyone's forgetting about the fact that video games are for fun, not to be used in toxic manner. It's like kids in the new like generation don't fully understand that, you know, that video games are made to have fun, not to be used to get others, not to be used to judge others, and not to be used to hate on. And that's primarily because if you use games to hate on others, you're not making yourself a better person. You're making yourself look bad than good. Like, imagine, going around being like, yep, I woke up today and I chose violence by being rude to people. Like, why? Like, what are you reason? Because I was bored and, I had nothing better to do? That type of mindset? To me, I'll just be like, so you want people that just love to make people feel small? No. Hmm. Okay, then. Then why is it each time when someone tries to be nice to you, all of a sudden like if you're like trans or gay or bi or autistic or Down syndrome, you instantly feel like you have to be a certain way to be. I have no idea. I thought that was like a new. Ooh, ooh, yeah, let's go. You know what? Okay, then let's see here. Then there, and then there, then. Okay, I thought I could put a bonus on a bonus, but no. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, like overall, like it is annoying dealing with people who think they know exactly what they're talking about, but with reality, they don't. And when you have to tell them facts about like what you're talking about, act like the facts aren't even there. Like, no, there's one person. Like, okay, look up 41% of trans people. 41% of trans people attempt suicide. Do you know why they do? Because they feel like, you know, they have nowhere else to go. People don't support them, accept them, love them, care for them. So they feel helpless. They feel lost. And because of the fact that they make some mental health go down drastically, I feel like the only way for them to feel at peace is for them to be dead. Then not. And that is the main issue. It's the fact that people use the argument to be like, yeah, but like, no, 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 no. That's on you. But think about it, right? If you're the one who would rather make others feel scared and small being who they are, then does not affect does not mean that it's on you for always being transphobic, homophobic, telling people that they can't be who they are because of the fact that of their color of the skin, disabilities, gender identity, religion, and other stuff. Like it makes no sense. No, we just all get along. you know? And it's something I feel like people don't really think about is that fact, is that a lot of times people don't really think about the fact that how easy it is for people to feel worthless and to feel at a loss when it comes to anything really. Like that's why I feel like people shouldn't, ever be this type of person, being like, oh, you have to be this and this way, yada 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 yada. At the end of the day, it just kind of like ruin your life. One day, being like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm so cool. I'm such a cool person for, telling others how they to live their life according to me. Like, bruh, not really that cool to brag about. Huh, 30K. Now in 26 minutes. Oh my god. 30K block. Dang. If you enjoyed this video, then do leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to join the Discord, Blue Sky, Fluxer. Yeah, it was really fun talking about stuff I had in my mind today. Because I honestly had a lot on my mind, like my spot bite that's healing pretty well. And the fact that, that I'm taking better care of it for one. And yeah. And also, if you can't join Discord for whatever reason, or Blue Sky, or Fluxer, then you can communicate with us through the comment section and in the community tab. And yeah, we're gonna see for one last day. Yeah, see you all. And thanks for watching. See ya.